Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host of LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. Today we are covering Zatima, currently streaming on Paramount Plus. This is season 4B, episode 16, I believe. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe and leave your comments below. Let's get into this week's episode. All right, y'all. So we'll begin where we left off, where we saw Tony looking at Deja and allegedly Leslie fighting. Deja was holding her. The other guys come out. That includes Zach, Tony, Nathan. And they get a hold of her. Tony and Nathan, they're holding her and all that. And Zach is just questioning her about certain stuff. And she's denying stalking his wife. And then all of a sudden it turns into, what are you talking about? I'm your wife. Deja hands over the pregnancy pad that Leslie has been wearing and all that. That's not mine. Deja, I will say this. The comedy in some of this stuff is just falling flat. Since now Deja is supposed to be this character that's supposed to be the comedy relief, it's not really relieving anything, if y'all understand what I mean. No, you're just not, no, it's not hitting. So Deja takes forever to just get to the point because she's trying to do a play-by-play, and it's not really working. Anyways, Zach is contemplating on what seems like he's ready to get rid of her. But he ends up deciding and offering Deja something as far as, what can I give you? Can I give you 2 months? What can you do if I give you 2 months free rent if you go F her up, Leslie? And she said, oh, I can do Deja, what can you do? Well, I'll do it for 2 months. I'll do what needs to be done. Cool. The credits roll. We're inside of the Taylor's home. At this point, Fatima and Bryce, they come, and she's wondering what's going on, and Zach is trying to keep the situation cool. He did say that they caught Leslie and all that, and then Deja comes around the corner. She has an ice pack on her hand, saying that she took care of the situation. And Fatima was like, moving his head, what is she doing? What is she doing in my house? And then Zach ended up saying that Deja effed her up. I think from an audience perspective, we deserved to see Deja doing what she do. I don't need to hear, oh yeah, I did. No. We've been watching this girl roam around free, doing all of this crap. And we couldn't see the A beaten. I'm trying to be YouTube sensitive, so that's why I'm not saying the words. Like, we were owed that, Mr. Courtney. And it's not satisfying at all for the viewers. Something. So apparently, she's been arrested. That we got to see none of it. We don't get to see them talking with the police or whatnot. Of course, Fatima was shocked, like, oh, so you let somebody else handle it? Yeah. And I think Courtney is just trying to establish that there is growth between Zatima. And that is cool. I'm glad that you're doing that. Do I really think that Zach would have done something to a woman? Of course, I think that there was a time on Sisters where he hit Karen in the forehead, and I don't even think that that was really purposeful, but it did happen. I don't think that he would have done something. Now, I think he would have shot Leslie, especially being caught in action of doing something against Fatima or doing something in the house. I do think that. However, I just don't think that he would have beat up a woman. I don't care how much he crashes out. So that was unbelievable to me in this moment. Anyways, Bryce was like, look, I came along, Angela told me to get the tea. And they said, typical Angela, nosy. However, Bryce took that literally and said, do you guys have some tea? Anyways, they send Bryce on his way. Zach is trying to stop Fatima, but she was like, look, we got to call the insurance company. What does she do to the house? Da, 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 da. And then she realizes, or she's really told, that she did something to the baby's room. They go upstairs to the baby's room. Tony and Nathan are working diligently to fix the room. Of course, I think at this point, reality has set in with Fatima as to how out of her mind Leslie is. But of course, she's heartbroken that this is just happening and da 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 da. Nathan and Tony, they leave, at least get out of that room, and they just have a little heart to heart, you know. She doesn't like what's happening. She's seeing Zach's efforts. Zach ended up saying, look, I was going to do some other crazy stuff. I was going to contact your ex, Malachi. And I wasn't even going to tell you. But, you know, I'm just really wanting to make a pact with you. Like, I just don't think that we need to hold all of these secrets from each other. And no. And I think he made the right decision. Again, Courtney trying to solidify that Zach and Fatima are growing. At this point, we switch over to the hospital. Bryce has made it back there. He's sitting there, and she wakes up, and she's just so alarmed. Whatever. She wants her purse. Bryce is getting it, and somehow he was able to unsnap it accidentally. I think she wanted her phone, and he was getting it out. Oh, because when he came back, she wanted the tea, the gossip. And Bryce ended up saying, well, they caught Leslie and all that, but that's all the information I got. And Angie's like, that's not enough. I need to know what's the deal. So then she wants to call Fatima. When he's opening the purse to get the phone, he finds the drug that she's been taking. And she's like, hand me all that, da 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 da. She gives a little bit more backstory as to how deep this was going as far as her intake of this Ozempic drug. Or Ozempic-like. Let me not be putting myself in any type of legal drama for saying anything awful about Ozempic. But anyways, she said, well, first she admitted that she got a hookup from someone at the office. And a lot of times she's just busy and she just has it stashed in different places. Why are they trying to act? In a way, they're trying to act like this Ozempic thing is addictive. In a way of like, where's it at? Like, I wish they were a little bit more conscious into what's going on with Angela. She's trying to fix things about her body. And I guess it's just like people getting addicted to medications, but it wasn't an addiction. I don't know. I don't think that was really fleshed out right as far as this story, but whatever, we got to go along with it. She does something that she wants to empower herself with. She said, give me the tube. And Bryce was like, you know how he is. She said, please, hand it to me. Give me the garbage can. So then, to reclaim her power back, she throws that vial of drug in the garbage. Cool. I don't think there was anything else that night. It's a new day. And we're over at Angela's. I think Zach and Fatima are in there already, but anyways, Angela comes home. Bryce is being very doting and really all over Angela. Is like, Angela is saying to him, like, let me breathe a little bit, you know? Acting like she's just broken. Of course, she did have a mild heart attack, and you want to take it slow, blah, 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 blah. So then you got Zach mimicking it, or really making fun and mocking what Bryce is doing for Angie, trying to do that with Fatima. And Fatima's like, boy, stop. So then, I guess the story is moving along a little bit, and we're going to start talking about the baby shower plans. Zach and Angela got a secret plan that we're not going to be privy to. So, whatever. At this point, Zach and Bryce, they leave because they have to go and be there for the inspection for this new building that they're trying to purchase. I think Fatima and Angie do talk a little bit. There wasn't really much to it. It's just whatever. Um, we see Preston, we see Bryce and Zach at the building. Zach gets the notification that the inspector isn't coming. He said that the inspector told him that his assistant checked Zach out, and now they want to back out. And automatically, he knew what was up. He was racial profiled. And of course, Bryce can't fathom that because you're Asian, even though what is going on is that black folks are at the lowest part of the totem pole. And any other non-white person, they're still up there. And in many cases, that's how they treat us. And even though we say people of color, I always say people of color don't put black folks in that category, because it'll be always people of color and black folks. And that's what I live by. Maybe I'll live by something else, and that's cool. But hey, I see what's up. And I've just studied how things have gone down and how other races treat us that aren't even white. So yeah. Anyways, Zach asked Preston, okay, you do it. Preston said, well, I don't really want to do it that way. I really want to get it the right way or whatever. Now, Preston in real life, I forgot the actor's name, he's biracial. And he's more white presenting, as we can see. So, anyways, Preston ended up saying, okay, we'll do it that way because we don't want to lose this building. Later on, Zach goes to the barbershop. Tony, and I forgot his name, is there. And at this point, Nathan is in the barbershop and he's sweeping. Nathan is such a bum. You mean to tell me the most that you have going on with your life is sweeping in a barbershop? Now, it's cool for you to make an honest living, but you're not even making an honest living. The owner of the barbershop, I forgot his name, is making you pay off your debt. But then again, Nathan tried to take another dig at Tony as he was the one that went to jail. I don't understand that whatsoever. You're the one that put him in there. I don't even understand how that's even a joke, dig, or anything like that. And you deserve a beatdown, Nathan. I'm sorry. Of course, I already said Zach comes in. He sits in the barber chair, but he don't really get a haircut. He just fills them in on what happened with the building. Later on, Tony and the other dude, I can't still remember his name. Do you know what you're going to do? Are you going to tell the mom of the one that you pow-powed the kid away? He says that he doesn't really know what he's going to do. So, to me, kind of a waste of time. Was there anything in between there? Next, we just see Deja in jail prison. Looks like she's lining up to get her room. And then she sees this guard, and she starts conveniently trying to seduce the dude. And he says that he'll see him later. Obviously, that's going to be her way of getting out of jail and breaking free. Again, if Deja did all of this stuff to this girl, I don't see one mark on her. And I think that Courtney really missed the mark with that. These comedic moments aren't hitting like I need them to hit. Where's Michael? Like, we got a lot of stories that you are pulling up out of there. And it's cool in a way because, look, we can't keep going through this toxic crap with Zach and Fatima. We need some progress, and I see you doing that. What happened to that? What happened to Connie? What's going on with Jeremiah? We already know that Jeremiah's not coming back next season. How in the world are you going to tie that up? And I think we got probably like 3 episodes left. How are you going to tie that up? Like, I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. Again, I was still giving it a shot or whatnot because a lot of people just jumped the shark and just thinking that everything is just so boring and why are we continuing with this story and all that. But it's just, there's a lot of loose ends right now. And it's cool that we're about to get this baby shower. Oh, the ladies, they go down to Belinda. I forgot about that. Belinda's place. And then Angie's supposed to get her hair done. Anyway, then they fill her in as to what's going on with Fatima and Leslie and Belinda's like, how come I didn't know? I don't care what anyone says. There's no way I would be friends with a person like Belinda. But anyways, this isn't my show. I'm not the writer. I ain't getting paid to do nothing. But no, we're not doing that. You don't get that type of opportunity. But yeah, I thought that this would be a more action-filled show, and it was, to me, a letdown. And just have to be honest about it. I know that there's going to be a great season finale, but I mean, at this point, we should be getting some type of thrill out of the season, and it's not. Not in my opinion, you know. But y'all can tell me what you guys think in all of this, and do you see where any other stories are going? I mean, it's cool that Zach and Zatima are about to have this baby shower. We need to see Fatima's parents. When are we going to see them? Come on. Let something happen, you know. But that's all I got. Did you wish that there was some action? Did you want to see Deja beating her up? Something? Because it's just not making any sense. Let me know. What do you think the direction of the show should go? Let me know that also. I appreciate you all for coming to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. And until the next one, peace.